picks that we're seeing. Ziggs, Renekton, Lee Sin. These are the power picks right now just being snatched up and divvied up.
And I like that you brought that out. Last season, it was him in the Alliance here, going into the playoffs. And I think that at least with that sort of experience, they will be able to actually come up with that. Now, let's focus on the picks right here. We're already seeing a Ziggs, Kai'Sa, as well as Jarvan. While FENNEL University has locked in that Lee Sin, as well as Renekton, and follow up with a Braum. I think that they have very heavy focus onto the early game for FENNEL University.
Yeah, for sure. The top half is looking very aggressive. A lot of potential to make plays early. Rough on this Braum, I think it's going to be a very good choice as well. Braum generally denies engage spots very well, so that will kind of force what Jesh to consider to lean more towards Enchanter picks, which I think is exactly what you want on FENNEL University. I feel what the Jesh shines as a carry support when he's on these engaged tanks. Now here on Lulu, he won't have the playmaking potential, so it will be a lot more reliant on Golden Feet, on Belby, on Cat type to look for these proactive plays.
And we're also seeing Conflict Pick coming in for FENNEL University right here with the final pick of Orianna. Yep. So when it comes down to execution, definitely there's a little bit more of an opportunity of looking for a window out there, so long as Domain will come in with the Dragon's Rage. But I'm looking at INVATE Esports here. It won't take them too much to actually pull off some team fight strats all together with huge elements like the Cataclysm. And if he's gonna go low, what the Jess will try to save him with the Wild Growth.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a pretty nice team coming out of INVATE. A lot of front-to-back potential, right? Like you mentioned, Cataclysm into Infernal Bomb. That's something that we saw Bajaya Dragons try to do, not to rub wounds, but they tried to do it, but it never quite panned out. This time around, though, I have a lot more faith in the capability of INVATE Esports to try to pull this one off, and I like the pieces that they have around it. Kha'Zix to clean up after the big combos, Kai'Sa to fly in on top of that with the Killer Instinct, and of course, like you mentioned, Wild Growth to round things off. Now, something I want to touch on really quickly. This Lee Sin pick from Domain, it's not been good for him in the split. He's 1 and 2 on it, but I think it's a tick away from Golden Feet, whose most successful pick is Lee Sin.
That's right. We're heading right into game 1 here. INVATE Esports versus FENNEL University. Now, as we bring up about this Lee Sin, this is a pick that is so flexible out there when you go down to the build strats. You can build halfway into a semi-tank. You can go full offensive. You're going to be taking a lead. Going up against Golden Feet, that's on this Kha'Zix right now, it's all about getting leads. Whoever gets the first dips possibly will try to snowball their team from that point onwards.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, and I think that given that both mid lane matchups, it's a control mage mirror. Both of them are just going to be farming, just going to be trying to push out their lanes. So when we look at this Baron lane matchup, it's likely going to be highly isolated with at most jungler intervention. It's not like the previous few games that we saw with Galio flying left, TF flying right. Both of these mid laners, they're just going to sit here, farm, push, farm, push. It's going to be a jungler and side laners to really dictate the pace of the early mid game.
That's right. Domain already hijacking on that blue buff. I'm pretty sure that INVATE Esports will try to come up with their very own response, as they've already got a very deep ward in. But if he doesn't, then that's a little bit of a EXP loss for himself. So, but bring it back to the Baron lane itself. Jarvan as a flex pick, and now he's getting bullied by Power.
He is. I mean, this pick in a 1v1, right? Jarvan, look at the rune that he takes. He takes Aerie. He can't really win extended trades. He can't really win extended fights. All that he wants to do is poke you with his spears, and we might have to hold that thought. It looks like it's going to be a skirmish.
The move, call it off as we speak
they
of
just
it.
back away.
I guess it's a good move right there, right? Like INVATE Esports, if they were to actually lose out on those sort of trades, it'll put them so much further behind. And Golden Feet just trying to get quickly into level 5, and probably he'll be pretty upset to not see his buff being intact.
Definitely losing out right here, and a lot of that, like we say, right, comes back to Cat type in this matchup, losing out in the 1v1. It's to be expected. You can only poke as the Jarvan, but Power with a very nice adaptation, not taking the Conqueror we usually see Renekton take, opting instead for fleet footwork to have to sustain. We saw him even do a bit of cheeky proxy farming while there's a skirmish down in the Dragon lane, so a lot of dominance, a lot of pressure being exerted from Power. Domain just gonna come and shove this wave in. Just one auto on the cannon.
Well, I guess that is easily negated as well, especially when you have something that's so defensive with Lulu going on the heel. So
Yeah.
you have the shields coming off from her, and if worst case scenario comes, and Domi chooses to have his mind telling him no, but his body says yes, he gets a whimsy.
Exactly. He's going to get polymorphed, and that's a really tough situation to be in, right? If you overdive. Don't forget, like I mentioned earlier on, this is not Domain's best champion. He's 1-2 on it in the regular season, negative win rate. I'm a bit concerned that we might see some of these moments, like you mentioned, Contra, but the upside is, if he jumps in and dies, at least he delivers the ball.
Indeed, and I think that is one of the most simple way that you want to connect that shockwave as compared to putting on power, which, you don't know, maybe he might need to get out of a situation with the slice and dice. Now, with both of all these objectives coming up pretty soon, I want to bring up about this fact. INVATE Esports, they have high priority on a lot of all these Herald takedowns, and they're the ones with the break set right now, hopping onto Doming, immediately lands that cake. Doming on a dangerous situation, but he makes it out alive. Gives room for INVATE to start off with the Herald.
Yeah, and this is going to be a free Herald take here for Cold and Feet and friends off the back of a failed gank attempt on Cat type, right? They tried to go into the Baron lane, but Kha'Zix with the isolation just trades back so well. What the Jess as well, he's up here first. He makes sure that his team can secure that Herald. Cat type now so low, forced to back away, and this is just going to be FENNEL adversity trading on the Dragon.
Yeah, I guess this is the best case scenario for FENNEL adversity. Playing scaling as they opt to do. So Ocean Drake gives them a little bit more of a sustainability with the Omni Vamp. And as we move into the mid game here, I want to see Cat type here making a few calls to drop into the Cataclysm, and maybe that might just actually be something that can make the job easier for Golden Feet.
Yep. He needs to be able to get out of this Baron lane, right? He needs to go to mid lane, burn the flesh of the Orianna, and I love this from Cat type. I love this from Cold and Feet. They identified that exactly. We need to break this Baron lane. We drop the Rift Herald over, but the rotations are coming in from FENNEL. They don't even get much damage on the tower. That's it.
Only one plating right now, Domi moving right in. He's not going to be able to actually land all too much. The kick does not go through, but it's going to be a flag and red dropping onto Rafi. Immediately connected with the Glacial Fisher as well. First blood secured for INVATE Esports.
Yeah, and Ruffy just going in a little bit too deep right there. Gets punished by the rotation. More man from the start of INVATE means that they have the numbers advantage, and they will take this play in their favor. They will get the turret, not off the back of a Rift Herald, but off the back of Ziggs rotation and Ruffy overstepping.
Yeah, and this is what INVATE Esports want to do. And in the usual regular season, INVATE usually has this game plan just to play around that Baron lane. And now Power, as much as you have a little bit more room to farm up, I guess that INVATE Esports can slowly take majority of all these map pressure and start putting all that pressure down to bottom. And I wonder how do they fare.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing for Cat type is right now, right? He's looking for these plays. On his reset, he took a walk towards mid lane, see if he can look for a gank on anyone. Don't forget, while Jarvan is in the Baron lane this time around, he's technically still a very good ganker. So with the turret broken, there's more opportunities for him to look around, try to burn some flashes, try to look for some picks with his team. And right, this just opens up so much freedom for INVATE Esports.
In a dangerous situation, he just leaps away through the wall, sniffs out Rafi. Few wards being placed downwards on both sides of the river. Well, there is a shove coming in from the Jarvan, so they might eventually attend to that, but can they actually get the kill? We'll have to see. And Cat type makes it out
so tanky. He's so tanky. He has the Sapphire Cape already. It's going to be a very tricky person to take down. I do want to point out, Cold and Feet has the Twin Shadows. The Spooky Ghosts are going to cut down Show here, maybe.
Yep, that's right. Show probably will connect.
Nice.
A beautiful shockwave onto a few, but he will undoubtedly fall with no backup whatsoever. FENNEL adversity here is soaking a little bit more of that pressure, but they will still get something off of the top lane.
Yeah, because of that play from Show, because he took Cold and Feet so low, because he traded 1-for-1. Ooh, hold that thought.
Cataclysm dropped right in, but there's no more mana coming in for the Corki.
Yep.
Danny burns both summoners just to stay alive. And I think this is just the best case scenario for INVATE. Just slowly take small skirmishes and burn out FENNEL adversity.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, cat-type Cataclysm's on a way shorter cooldown. I was gonna be fine here. Just a little bit of trading back and forth. Cataclysm is on a way shorter cooldown than Flashes. So the moment he has Kata again, he's gonna be looking for Show. He's gonna be looking for Danny. And back to the main point about Show, right? That was so well played from him, going for the Shockwave into Flash buffer. Gets a 1-for-1, trades health with Golden Feet, and then allows his team, that allows Power and Domain to take down this Baron Lane turret, kind of evening the gold up a little bit right now.
Indeed, 2,000 gold up ahead. Now, I wonder if INVATE's going to be contesting for this trade, because FENNEL, they take over the entirety of this river sector, and perhaps Cat-type might just be onto something.
Yeah, Cat-type is looking for a pick right now. He needs to wait for Cataclysm to be off CD. Package is available for Danny, but no flashes on both the carries on the side of FENNEL Adversity. It's going to mean a bit of an iffy fight here.
Redemption already being popped. Scouts out ahead. In middle lane, they hop above. And Dragon's Rage will cat out Golden Feet. And FENNEL Adversity probably will get this dragon for free after taking down INVATE's jungler. And immediately going for another one as well. They are hopping on Bob Watts the chest. Cat's Hut only buying a little bit more room for themselves. INVATE, this time, loses out on that trade, and FENNEL Adversity keeps it all even.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look out for Kha'Zix. I thought he had a good flank angle with the Evolve on the spikes as well to just slow them and provide so much utility that Kha'Zix normally can't. This time around though, that was the MVP of this fight. It spots out Golden Feet, and Domain gets on top of his head, kicks him into his team, into the point and click stun, and that means a 4v5 is not something INVATE can contest. Forced to give the dragon up, and now it's looking like INVATE, they won this turret.
Cat-type immediately hops into the front lines, but he immediately defused the situation. FENNEL Adversity members are all around. As much as there will be the Baron coming up soon, none of the teams are able to contest just about yet. As we look into some of the item builds, if there's anything that you've sniffed up that's a little bit different as compared to the usual builds. Oh, meanwhile...
Well, I think we're taking a look at the item builds. It's pretty standard, but Ruffy, hard right now.
He's going to be able to hop right over Danny, thrust right across, but the flash, the Cataclysm, and yet again, Rappy's the flash only for his life bit. Here comes Shockwave, only trying to pull away members of INVATE, but they've already had a lot more room over onto the Baron lane as well. So FENNEL Adversity, they're actually playing an impressive macro game.
Yeah, look at Power right now. He's pressuring the Baron lane turret. It's already half health. Dragon lane turret, 1 HP, 1 tick of health. FENNEL Adversity, they have so much standing gold on the map that they can just take with 1 coordinated push. So while the gold is even right now, don't be deceived. This is actually FENNEL Adversity. They can swing the goalie in their advantage with just 1 fight. With that said, both of these teams, look at the items. It's pretty even across the board. Double items on both marksmen, double items on both mids and jungles. Next fight, it's gonna be explosive for sure.
It is, and Golden Feet might just actually get picked off right there. Millie hops backwards, and for now, probably will just get a few for just to get himself back to safety. Now, look at the vision game itself. FENNEL just light things up like a Christmas tree into the jungle of INVATE, and I hope that they will do exactly the same, just to find a little bit more opening for themselves.
Yeah, and this is huge, right? INVATE, they're trying to invade into FENNEL Adversity's jungle right now, but I don't really know what they can find here. FENNEL know everything because, like you mentioned, vision is the name of the game. They know that they can't be in the bot side jungle, and they know that they're not in INVATE's own top side jungle, so to be invading you, and they know there's a bunch of people here as well. So smart call from them to just give this one up. I do believe Show has to go catch this Dragon Lane wave soon enough. It's quite a stalemate right now, and I get it, right? Both of these teams, they want to play it by the book. They can't afford to be making game-losing mistakes because this is a best of 5 to determine if you stay in the upper bracket, and there's really only one thing to fight for, right? To qualify for the main stage. These teams don't want to lose that chance.
Indeed it is. High stakes involved. Domain connects, and he immediately goes right in for the cake. Shockwave did not really hit onto the Jarvan, and immediately he burns off all these sort of the utilities just to get into safety. Valby having very little health. I don't think that it's going to be wise for INVATE to stay far too long because they have to quickly reset for the most precious drink, Inferno.
Yeah, exactly. And Doming and Shoal both having used their ultimates right there, I do believe they should be about up by the time the dragon comes up. And both of these teams just resetting right now. Doming getting a little bit of push down in the dragon lane. You need to make sure you have lane priority in as many of these lanes as you can so that you can secure easier access to fights. And if fights don't go your way, then you have wave control, which means your team, your opponent team can't push. So many things done right on the side of FENNEL University. But this fight, this is going to be the big one.
Indeed. Look at the rest of FENNEL University having great control over the river still. It's going to be a tough call for INVATE to penetrate. Maybe they can just simply hop a wall and steal it away. That might just be a really good chance without having too much commitment. Well,
look at Doming, though.
Doming.
Yeah, Doming on this Lee Sin, just constantly shoving this Dragon Wave in, making sure his team constantly has priority, and Kesata buying the GA right now, recalling. This might be bad, they might lose the Drake for free.
And Cattype, he needs to find a little bit more opening, but they're not really allowing that to happen. Battle Vision, he gets the third Drake, and middle lane goes for power. Glacial Fisher does not connect to any member at all. INVATE Esports is slowly losing out these trades at the late game, looking very favorable for Battle University.
They're just gonna barrel down on this mid lane turret, but the wave clear is sufficient. Look at Power, I love this adaptation. He was so low, but he still wants to try to get this turret. Okay, not quite. He was making a call to trade the bottom lane tier 2 for the mid lane tier 1 if INVATE had committed for it. But because INVATE backed off, he smartly backs off as well. Kestar Ruler right there, I think that was a bit of an iffy decision from him. He based to buy a GA, which is, yeah, it's so big in this fight. It lets you survive a Shockwave, it lets you get a second life through a Dragon's Rage, but the problem is it costs his team the Dragon. And that was such an iffy situation. If he was here earlier to output the DPS, we might have seen a completely different fight.
Indeed, and check out the replay once again. It was them having a little bit of a mispriority to try to even look for an opportunity of the opening, but you gotta also commend Power because he was being the major distraction to stop INVATE Esports from securing that Drake itself. And I like the fact that he went back for that GA and says, okay, I'm preparing for the next fight. Maybe not this one, just let them have it.
Whenever that fight may be, he is ready with the GA, that it's true, but something a bit unfortunate as well. In the replay, he didn't manage to Killer Instinct over the wall. He landed above the wall in the outside the Dragon's Pit. That might have been the difference maker. If he was in the pit, might have been able to chase down Power and look for the longer fight there.
You know,
look at Power split pushing.
I'm starting to have a little bit of second thoughts on my bolt, as this is going to be a 2 versus 1 eventually. Power only trying to hold on, and Cataclysm will lock him in place. The rest of Battle of Vicinity calls in the Calvary. Power's almost surviving though, and he gets popped off on the very final second. Now it's 4-4-4. And I honestly thought that he could have made it out.
Same. I thought he was alive too, but I believe he might have... Oh, actually, no, that was the opponent team's redemption. So it was a nice move for him to get out of that one. I think it was the last tick of Ignite that probably took him down there. A little bit unfortunate, but the main takeaway, FENNEL University and Power managed to take up the bottom lane tier 2 turret. The top lane tier 2 sitting about half health. They can pick that up pretty much anytime they want. The only issue here, the mid lane turret that they can't take down, because Belby on the Ziggs is just gonna keep sitting there, just gonna keep throwing bombs until, you know, until they get Baron basically. FENNEL can never push this.
More pressure onto mid. That shockwave connects onto 2. Belby immediately retreats, but they've already cleared off the wave. And that opens up Baron very well for the team. And how would they actually choose to respond?
This is their timing to push mid. I think they're going to go for that instead. It's definitely the safer play here because Belby has to recall. Without the Ziggs, it's a lot harder for them to wait.
That's right. Redemption pops right in. The rest of them will chase in with capitalism, setting them in place. But Cattype is taking way too low. He cannot afford to drop because he knows at any given point of time, the University can turn it all around into the Baron itself. Doming still causing a little bit of pressure right there. He has the Guardian Angel as well if he wants to go in for huge initiation. As this drags on, I think it's all about that final team fight here. To close out any point of the game.
It definitely is, right? This game is going to come down to one big team fight, but it seems like INVATE, they're starting to slip up under the pressure. The nerves are starting to show. Cattype went for the Cataclysm. When Belby was at home, you can't get the combo off. And Danny, of course, being on cocky, happy to just Valkyrie out of that one. I want to point out something a little bit interesting. Show on this Orianna picked up for himself a Locket of the Iron Solari, so making sure that he does big damage with the Death Cap while still taking care of his team with the Locket.
Very much of a supportive mid lane
Team
role
player.
coming in, and I love the idea. And as much as they have the Ziggs, I'm going to
man,
hold it
damage.
for a little bit. I package coming right through. So that's going to be called off. So I want to point out that Belby, as a Ziggs, he could have actually looked for a high pressure mid lane situation, easily takes down that turret. Yet there's no opening because FENNEL Adversity were so
They're
good
not
at
giving,
defense.
FENNEL Adversity are not giving up an inch of ground right now, and they want this Elder Dragon. They're going to start this Elder Cloud Drake and force INVATE to make a move.
Rafi now taking the
INVATE have the poke though.
lead. So just spots out the rest of them, but Golden Speed is in a really good position for a steal as well. Just poking and prodding. It's going to be a little bit difficult with both Twin Shadows already chasing after them. I guess it calls for a little bit of a tango.
Oh man, I feel so disappointed. Such a build up for nothing but for these teams to let it reset. It's been a long game. It's been 19 minutes so far. I think the longest game of the day, honestly. They don't want to lose it on an Elder Dragon flip. So I completely understand that these teams are just gonna live to fight another day.
That's right. They're gonna dance over onto the mid lane. Clearing out some vision ward. I think this is gonna be a good move coming from INVATE Esports. And with only 3,000 of gold lead, that could definitely change in one good team fight for INVATE Esports still. So
this gold lead at this point means nothing. It's all about how you play out the next few team fights.
And speaking of that, that's going to be the shockwave not connecting. He tries to move right through, but FLA almost deleted cat type immediately. Now, the only thing that saved him right there was the Gargoyle Stone Plate that has popped up in time. And I guess that's a good call when he also had the Steroid passive up available.
Yeah, and I want to point out as well, Domain, he's eating so much of the farm available on the map. He's accelerating in gold as a Lee Sin, as a jungler, while Golden Feet on this Kha'Zix has to kind of be forced to do the same to keep up in farm. If not, he's going to be falling behind, and you can't have that as a Kha'Zix. I do like the itemization as well from Golden Feet. He has the Saryuda's Grudge, has a lot of utility, has the spikes evolved, making sure that his team's poke comp comes together more comprehensively. They have the Ziggs, they have the Kha'Zix spikes, and that's going to be doing a lot for these objective dances. I think Power right now, he might be trying to solo the dragon?
Well, I'm not too sure if he could do it all alone, though.
Okay, yeah, not going to commit to that one, I think.
Yeah. Perhaps if he brings a few members of INVATE Esports in here, this is going to be a really good pickup there for the flag, spots them all out. So once again, both of their parties are shifting into this Cloud Drake. And this is it in the final form. FENNEL Adversity already secured 3 of it, and there's a fight breaking down for Bob's side. The rest of FENNEL Adversity, they're trapped in their own jungle. Cataclysm locking into place, and I guess this will continue on as we are hitting 20 minutes of play.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I want to point out as well, look at the barreling. This could be the timing to start it. I want to say there's a lot of minions over there. INVATE have to answer. Look at the damage on the tower just purely from the minions. And this is FLA. They're just going to be starting Baron off, and I get it.
This is a really great idea coming out of FENNEL Adversity. While they are being kept occupied, they will have to eventually let go of the inhibitor. And let's see, Coldfade, is he there in time? Not at all. And Cat type, he's getting chunked down low. The rest of FENNEL Adversity, they immediately go right back into the turret range. They got what they needed. They don't have to keep on staying for that team fight.
Yeah, and the big thing to pay attention to, the 6th man of FENNEL Adversity, something we didn't quite catch. The minion waves have been doing so much work here. INVATE had a big stacked minion wave, take FLA's tower down to 1 HP, but on the reset, FLA's huge minion wave just crashed into the inhib and took it down. Look at the Elder Dragon.
Oh boy. Cataclysm. Mega build up. It's FENNEL Adversity with all the break, but they're all caught up. All in lucky in place, GA top right there. The rest of FENNEL Adversity, they chase right in, they flash over the wall, looking for what the jazz as he hides right behind with the split push coming out. It does